Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Friday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. 256-234-6221 is our number here. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind. You can also dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page. That's Sports with a Z, and comment away. We'll get to as many of those as we can throughout the show today as well. Julian Phillips ends up choosing Tennessee yesterday. We were talking about that as we left the show. Depending on who you talk to, you know, there are talks out there, and this came down to an NIL deal, and Tennessee wanted him more. And this is kind of the thing. This is the future of college athletics, at least for the time being. This is what you're going to run into. How badly do you want a player?
No,
what are you willing to do for him?
No, it ain't no time being. It's here. And here's the deal. And, again, it's the first time I've been on this week, and it's a little discouraging. Brian Harsin at the Regions golf tournament said, I like NIL, but I don't think anybody really has an idea how it works. I mean, the aloofness of just not being engaged. And I'm going to tell you this, and Bruce Pearl talked to us down at the Lake Martin Auburn Club last year. And he basically said, if you don't learn to play this game, you don't get on board, we're going to be in trouble. And that's exactly what he said. And you're thinking, well, you're Auburn, you're going to be fine. No, this is another case in point where I think Julian Phillips really wanted to come to Auburn. From all the things I'd heard from people is that Auburn was really his choice, but what won out was money, which is going to win out 99.9% of the time. And this is where we are with it now. And if Auburn doesn't, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but this is the God's truth. If they don't figure this out, Andy, this is the result we're going to get from now on. We better get serious about it and try to figure out. I hate it. I'm with you. I hate it. I don't like it. But if we're going to compete and we want to continue to be a team that's in contention, and Bruce Pearl, I'm telling you, let Bruce Pearl lose out on 4 or 5 guys here in the next 2 or 3 years that he wants, he'll throw the towel in, man, or he'll retire or he'll go somewhere else, because this is what it's going to take to compete. And who wouldn't want to come to Auburn right now, especially – I mean, Julian Phillips just had a potential, teammate that committed to Auburn and Traore. You just got Broom. You look like you're building a great, team going into next year. No doubt he wanted to be part of that. And then, but watch Tennessee right now, what they're doing. This quarterback they just signed, rumored $8 million. This deal, no telling what it was. So I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can say, Andy, is we better learn to get this right and start competing, or we won't be getting the players we need.
Well, let me go the other way on this, and just for a devil's advocate here, and to have this conversation. Let's look. What if I look at this situation and say, I don't think Auburn did anything wrong here. Number one, if you get Julian Phillips, it's the greatest recruiting class you've ever had in the history of Auburn athletics. I mean, in the Auburn basketball.
Right.
Okay? So you got Johan Traore. Right. You went out and you got Jonah Broom. You've got a phenomenal recruiting class. Now, it came down to Julian Phillips. It can't just be that there's an unlimited amount of money for every recruiting class. That's just not, that can't happen. So you got to decide who is worth it. Who do I want to put the money on? And Tennessee said to themselves, we have to have Julian Phillips. And nobody's going to outbid us. In fact, if you believe the reports out there, we're not only going to outbid Auburn, we're going to make it so that it is double basically what Auburn
Right.
What the collectibles are offering this kid. So now, are we going to get every player? No. But I mean, you can't. I mean, there's not an unlimited supply of money out there, so you got to figure out who is worth it. And it would have been great to get Phillips, but he's not an absolute need for this class.
Well, no, he's not. But here's I'm going to go back to the other side. I don't have a real good fit. Now, basketball may be different, but on the football side, and total from every sport involved, I don't have a good feeling that we are at the cutting edge of this thing. There are some schools out there, Indy, that are. Tennessee, I'm afraid, I mean, I use cross-sport examples, football, basketball. I still have not seen any momentum in football, zero recruiting-wise. After all this caravan around the state to go see all the high schools and all this, if anything, I just saw the kid, the latest one from, I forgot which high school up north, Alabama, narrow his choices down to 5, and Auburn wasn't in it.
Right.
South Carolina's in there. And so when I look at all of this stuff and then I hear what Bo Jackson says at Regions about, hey, I know about as much as a man on the moon about what's going on with Auburn football. I ain't followed it. He said, I'm not being funny. I just hadn't. You know how engaged Bo Jackson's been in the last 10, 12 years with Auburn football. His name in search committees, everything. And for him to feel like, I think there was a lot more in that statement than him just saying, look, I don't have time to follow Auburn football. Are you kidding me, man? That's Bo Jackson is Auburn football. I don't feel good about some of the things that I'm seeing and hearing. I hope that there's a gold mine rush right here at the end and Auburn lands, 7 or 8 of those top 15 players. Do I think that's going to happen? No. But, and more of my argument is for football rather than basketball. No, we're going to be fine in basketball right now, but what Bruce Pearl said last year, Andy, holds true. When you start losing now 2 or 3 guys, that you potentially want or need, and you start getting outbid by everybody because they sell out and they got to have that guy and they double up. I'm not saying break the bank on one person. No, you got to be feasible. You got to use good judgment. I'm just saying that I'm a little concerned about where we are in the NIL game because I don't know a lot.
Football is it's a different animal than basketball. Clearly, you got 12, 13 scholarships in basketball. You got basically 2 or 3 guys that you're going to really put the money on to bring in, and you're going to build your team around them. You got 85 scholarships in football. So that money gets spread a lot thinner on that side. So there's
listen to this comment.
Totally different kind
of. Listen to this comment from Ed. Ed said $2 million from Tennessee, just a little less than $1 million from Auburn.
That's what the word.
All right.
That's a rumor.
Was what had been reported. He said, I'll tell you who has figured it out. It's Nate Oates, number 3 class in the country at Alabama. Complacency and comfortableness is a death sentence. You never want to get comfortable. You never want to get complacent. That's in the business world. That's in athletics. And when you think you got it on cruise control is when you get burned. And I think Bruce Pearl sent a subliminal message to everybody that was in attendance last year that, hey, man, I got to have some help. And, yeah, I can do all this. And we just went to the Final Four. And we got a lot of momentum right now. But, man, the landscape in college athletics is changing. If we don't get on board, just going out there saying, hey, you want to play for Auburn ain't going to be good enough.
Well, didn't we just get an undisclosed amount of money into the basketball program that warranted somebody putting their name on the arena? Yep. I mean, so shouldn't that money be available?
I don't know where it is.
Is that where it's going to?
I don't know where it is. And I know Auburn football-wise, this football-only complex that they're building is perhaps going to be the best in the country when it's finished. Just from a lot of different reports and a lot of things that are going in. And we've all seen Oregon's. We've seen, LSU's and stuff. But they said this is even beyond imagination of what's been going on there. So I get it.
Wouldn't that be the most Auburn thing ever to build the greatest football-only facility when facilities cease to really matter?
I don't think this facility ceases to matter. I think stadiums.
But it used to. That used to be number one.
Well,
now,
you're talking about bringing NIL in.
Yeah.
You're right. Just, right on time, as always. No, I definitely think the amenities and the things that you have at your disposal when you go to the
it's
program.
going to be phenomenal.
I think that goes into a player's decision, too. Now, the NIL is going to have to go in conjunction with that. If you come and visit and it's a dump, then, somebody may say, oh, they can offer me, $100,000 more, but I can't. I mean, this place is so far behind. So it's a combination. It's going to be a network of all of how it comes together to make it work. I'm just saying that the number one priority right now is trying to figure out how your budget and what you're going to spend and all this kind of stuff. If you don't have it figured out, man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Kelby Collins is is Luke said.
Okay.
The kid that got South Carolina in the top five.
Up against our first break here on the Auburn Blitz. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Don't miss the Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by America's First, May 20th through the 22nd. It's the South's largest in-water boat show featuring pontoons from Bennington, Sun Tracker, Silver Wave, Bentley Starcraft, and Avalon. Plus fishing boats from Carolina Skiff, Tracker, Ranger, Nitro, Express, wake boats from Mastercraft and more. Fireworks Friday night, lake lifestyle vendors, live music, and a free concert Saturday night featuring country superstar Tyler Farr. Admission is free. Go to LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
GMC Sierra 1500 AT4s, all-terrain four-wheel drives, are ready to roll now at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika and discounted up to $3,800 off. And check out the GMC heavy-duty 2500s and 3500s. GMC Acadia, save up to $4,500 now with 0% financing on most new GMC models.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. About 45 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We got to go to the final line, but let me just say this, about this NIL as far as basketball is concerned. I got it all figured out.
Okay.
There has got to be – look, in professional sports, there is what is known as a salary cap. They have got to – I thought the whole idea was to divest NIL from recruiting. You didn't want those to be intertwined. Was that not the point of these new guidelines and stuff they're supposed to be coming out with the NCAA? You have got to,
but when you tear the fences down and let all the animals,
got some music playing.
I know, and you let all the animals run out into, that's just in your head. I don't hear anything. Hey, when you tear the fences down and animals run out into the forest, and you go, oh crap, there was a reason we had a fence up.
Yeah.
Now you got to go wrangle them back in. Well, it's too late by then. Terry, what's going on, man?
How y'all doing today, guys?
Good, brother. How are you?
Fantastic. Do you guys believe that? I believe 100% what you're saying, Brett, that the NIL is a big deal, but also I think playing time might have been a factor. Did we see a situation where this guy might not have got playing time? And here we are on yesterday was May the 12th. We heard this news that we're talking about a basketball player.
Yeah, you're talking about
everybody. It's just me.
Yeah. Hey, look, let me say this. You're already seeing instances where NIL deals are not going the right way, and guys are walking out of programs. Guys are leaving programs right now. Florida State's already had one do that back in the spring, walked off the field, and there was another. And then right now, the University of Miami in basketball, they're infighting amongst the team because one guy got more than another guy, and that guy felt like he was the better player on the team, and now he's asking for more. And what it's become is a full-out professional team that everybody's negotiating a contract.
Right. Well, I just believe that playing time was a bigger factor for Phillips because Auburn's already signed. I can't ever pronounce it, Traore or whatever, or Broom, and the guys that got returning, they're just going to be that good. It's not like Auburn's. I hate to say this because it sounds ridiculous, but it's not like they need Julian Phillips. They're going to be really good without him. And he's got more of a chance to make an impact at Tennessee than Auburn.
I think this could almost be and again, I'm trying to be positive. I think it could be a blessing in disguise because instead of bringing in a freshman that you're going to have to develop, you can go out and get that three-point shooter that you've been missing. That is a senior.
Exactly, Andy, good point.
That is an experienced guy that could be more beneficial for that year because Phillips probably going to be there for a year anyway.
Well, most all these guys you're picking up are going to be there for a year. I mean,
Brett, I want to ask you because I know how I believe, and I've said it many times on the show. What do you believe about Brian Harsin? Because I believe the guy's putting on an Academy Award-winning performance. He wants to be at Auburn. He really does. And maybe a small part of us, but I can guarantee his family does, and you guys know as well as I do. If Mom ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Hey, I'm going to say this. I'm not sure he doesn't want to be at Auburn. I'm just not sure he's up to the job. That's the thing that's concerning to me. No, I think he chose to come to Auburn. I think he understood what he was doing as far as, getting more money, going to a higher profile job from Boise State. I just think he got down here and he didn't realize all that was involved. And it's kind of like my analogy of somebody that is a mountain climber and they're trying to knock off all the top peaks in the world, and then you wait and you leave Mount Everest for last, and you go, well, I'm a mountain climber. I've climbed them all, except Mount Everest. I'm prepared. And you work out and you mentally ready, you watch videos and all that, but until you jump on the side of that mountain, you don't really know what all's involved. I think that's what's happened to Brian Harsin, and I think he's like, man, I'm a good football coach. Look at my record. I've done it here. I can take this philosophy, go down to Auburn, and then you go down to Auburn, you go, yeah, I knew Georgia was to the east, and I knew Alabama was to the west, but dadgum, I didn't know what all was involved, and I think that's where he is right now, I'll be honest.
Well, what's bothered me is they say he's learning a lesson his second year about recruiting. He shouldn't have known that before he took the job, and shouldn't he known that Nick Saban is across the state and Kirby Smart, his two biggest rivals, are right there at him?
Well, like I just said, Terry, I think he knew Georgia was to the east and he knew Alabama was to the west, and he knew exactly what those two programs were accomplishing, but he had a lot of faith in his ability to take his brand of football down here at Auburn and do big things. And what he found out is you can look at it and research and do all this, but you don't know it until you're immersed in it. And I think he's struggling to keep his nose above the water.
I just believe the guy didn't research it as well as he should have, and I just don't, for whatever reason. Maybe I know, maybe I don't know, but I just don't believe his family likes Lee County and Auburn area. They're used to be out there in West Coast where things are a little bit more loosey goosey. Let's be totally honest. So who knows? But we'll see. I tell you what, Dad, I can guarantee you this: he won't be around to see that football facility open if he has another 6-6 season.
Well, I think we all understand what the inevitable is if some things don't massively change, and it starts with getting players. I mean, that's really what it is. And right now, I'm not very encouraged on what I'm seeing on the recruiting front because I don't see a lot of guys really including Auburn in their top 5.
Well, Andy, I turn on the show every day, I see something negative. I see a player leaving or something like that on the show, and it's getting frustrating here on May the 12th. We're talking about a basketball recruit, or today's May the 13th, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Oh yeah, I get it. There's needs. There has been a need for something positive and some positive momentum for a while now, and that moment hasn't happened.
Right. You guys have a great day.
Terry, thank you, brother.
Thank
Appreciate
you. It. Happy Friday 13th, by the way.
Oh yeah, didn't even think about that. Ugh.
Up against another break here on the Auburn Blitz. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. About 35 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center, Big Fish Real Estate, and Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team. Three wonderful sponsors here on the show, been with us for a long time, and we appreciate so much all of their support. Go and visit them today for all your building supply, home decor tools with Russell Do-It Center. For all your real estate needs with Big Fish Real Estate, 551 Big Fish. And if you're in the market to refinance or to check out maybe getting a loan, Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, 2040 Cherokee Road, 256-397-0224.
We've got a lot of good comments coming in, John. Paul said that I do think Auburn's football program is in trouble when they can't get the recruits they need. And Ed said, I have a question that might not be a very popular one. He said, what if it's not Brian Harsin? What if it's AU and the power brokers saying we are not going to play this NIL game to the point of Alabama, Texas, Southern Cal, Georgia, A&M, et cetera? What now? If that's the case, then it don't matter who the heck the coach is.
Well, who I mean,
is this
who
part
decides and who should come to Auburn?
Jason Campbell is over Auburn NIL. All right? Every one of these, and then some schools have 2 or 3, but the only known one is Auburn NIL, whatever. And
that's from the school's point of view, right?
I guess. I don't know.
You got that Auburn LLC, which is a separate entity.
Right.
That's the booster.
So, but Ed's point goes back to my point about Bruce Pearl kind of sending a subliminal message about, hey, I need some help. And this is the university and the boosters and all getting together to figure out how to work this thing. And again, as much as we all love Auburn, we all know how much of a power struggle there is at Auburn and how hard it is for people to get in the room and concede power. And everybody in the room probably wants to be in charge. Everybody can't be in charge. Everybody can be a player, but everybody can't be the person that's at the head. You got to figure out who that person is, and it's going to lead the effort across multiple platforms, multiple sports. And right now it just seems discombobulated, and Ed brings up a good point. It would be what you said. It would be just like Auburn to sabotage itself to try to act like it's going to prove some point. Well, we ain't playing this deal.
Well,
we'll
it's
be
for
fine.
the greater good.
Well, yeah, we'll
get a better coach.
We're going to sacrifice ourselves and go 3-7 or 3-8 every year because we ain't going to play the NIL deal.
Well, refresh my memory. Was there not less than a year ago a segment of the high dollar boosters that did not want Brian Harsin any longer?
That's right.
Okay. So are we on the same page? Is it even feasible to believe that the brokers and the fans are on the same page as far as Auburn's future? I mean,
who's right?
They've never been on the same
never
page.
have been. Jim said, Ed, to answer your question, Auburn power brokers don't want Harsin there, so there's not going to be any help with that money. So I think that's what you just saying. They've tried already to get rid of him. I think it's Harsin. If Harsin gone, the money shows up for recruiting. So are they trying to prove a point that they don't want this guy to have everything at his fingertips? I mean, didn't we hear some rumblings back when all that was going on about him possibly getting ousted, that he was going to some recruits and saying, hey, I'm trying to get this stuff worked out, but right now everything's on hold? I mean, we heard some stories of that.
Again,
particular recruit.
Some people outside looking in would say that's conspiracy theory. But again, look at the fact. Look, you don't have to look very far to actual results of what have happened at Auburn in the last 2 years. So that's a great point.
I mean, what Ed and Jim is saying is spot on. I mean, there's some underlying aspects to this where
I'm not saying that's the only
where the boosters
problem,
are saying. But man, if that's the case,
it's not far-fetched.
It is not far-fetched because it's Auburn.
Yeah.
Because we've seen stuff, Jetgate, stuff like that happen in the past that you go, surely that didn't happen. Surely somebody made that up. And then you find out, no, that really happened.
We lived through it.
That's how we did.
I'm old enough to remember that. I mean,
I mean, I'm just saying that there is a reason right now we are getting dusted in football, in recruiting. We never had this problem in our life, even in down years. Even when Auburn had terrible years and terrible records, they ended up recruiting at the top of the heap. Go back and look at 12 and 13. And, you know, the 2013 class going into that season, I mean, yeah, they had a good year, but coming off of 12 and actually going off of 11 and then 12, the 12 class was a top class. You can go back and look at it. I pulled all the numbers not too long ago. This right here is not encouraging. It's like you don't have any momentum. It's like when you're not being talked about by the top players in your state, then that's some concern. Needs to be some concern.
The rumor is, whether it's legitimate or not, like you said, Tennessee offered Phillips $2 million. NIL, collectives,
right.
whatever. Auburn was a little less than $1 million. So does that mean that Auburn is saying, look, we're not going to pay $2 million for a basketball player? I don't care who he is.
No.
But somewhere around $1 million, yeah, okay. Football. Texas A&M reportedly spent about $30 million for a recruiting class. Best recruiting class in the history of recruiting.
That's right.
As far as the numbers go. Okay, does anything about you believe that Auburn would spend $30 million for a recruiting class?
Ed said this, and we'll go to break. He said Cadillac, Hilliard, Etheridge, Brumbaugh are working their rear ends off. There is a reason they aren't getting the deals closed. And you know they're good recruiters. So,
we report, you decide.
Somebody else's tagline, by the way.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back, hopefully we'll be joined by Jason Caldwell from Inside the Auburn Tigers. More to come right after this.
Lake Martin has a new car buying experience. It's the TR Group of Alex City on Cherokee Road. The TR Group has up to 100 late model vehicles to choose from and will not be beat on price, selection, or financing. With the TR Group, your selection and quality is easy and your good credit is rewarded. But we offer guaranteed financing on our inventory because your future is more important than your past. The TR Group, Lake Martin's new standard in auto sales. Located at 814 Cherokee Road, Alex City, USA.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Whether you prefer bricks, clicks, or taps, there's one place built around all your needs. For whatever it is you want to do. Even if your needs change, we'll be right there with you, making it all possible. Because you never know when a new addition will come along. So walk in, log on, or tap away. Either way, Valley's built to help you do you. Wherever life takes you, we'll be right there with you.
Hey guys, this is Nate Paz with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house, you need three things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually four. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, 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 Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. Only a couple of more segments left in today's show. Going to go to the phone line. Welcome in our good friend Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers. Jason, Auburn misses out on Julian Phillips. He goes to Tennessee. Where does Auburn go now? They got one scholarship left. Do you just eat that scholarship, or do you think they go out and find somebody else?
Yeah, I think if you had the perfect situation, you'd go find a guy that was about a 42% 3-point shooter that was kind of waiting, and you go grab him. But everybody's looking for those guys. Auburn has a spot left. I think they're confident and comfortable staying at 12. But if the right guy comes along, they'll obviously go out and grab him. And then it could depend on what Alan Flanagan does. If Alan Flanagan decides not to return and does something, then you're going to go get somebody else either. So they're still to be determined part of the roster. That's just what's crazy about the world we live in now. Sitting here, obviously basketball's got a little bit longer, but we're in the middle of May now, and football is still trying to add guys to a roster for a team that's getting ready to start summer workouts. It's just a different world for sure.
I wanted to kind of shift focus because we've been talking. The show's been dominated today and most of the last 3 weeks on this NIL stuff, and I'm afraid we're going to continue to talk about it for the foreseeable future. But we just get a lot of concern, Jason, from viewers on Facebook and callers that Auburn it's just not where they need to be in the football world right now in recruiting. Just don't hear a lot about Auburn being mentioned as a contender with some of the top players in the state. This has been a very, very loaded class, probably one of the most loaded we've ever seen. That's saying a lot because we usually have some good ones in Alabama. But just your overall barometer on Auburn football recruiting right now as a whole. Do you feel like Auburn's in a good situation? You feel like Brian Harsin and this staff's got a grip on it, or do you feel like they're a little behind?
Yeah, I'll say this first. As it pertains to NIL part of those things, I think it's a drop in the bucket in recruiting, to be quite honest. I still think there's 3 more letters that are way more important. NFL is way more important than NIL. It's still the biggest deal, and we just saw Auburn have one player drafted. That's where things have to change. I wrote about it a couple weeks ago after the draft, how far behind Auburn is, behind Alabama and Georgia especially. But, I mean, Auburn's had 4 first-rounders in a decade. That's it. You look up and, Georgia and Alabama look like they have 4 a year, and you've had 4 in a decade. That it starts and ends with getting guys to the next level. Now, NIL kind of might help you get involved and get in the game. But I think the staff has done a good job in trying to play a little bit of catch up. Being on the road and going out and getting guys on campus, doing those things. I think they've done a pretty good job of that. But there's the wait and see. There's a wait and see from kids going, I want to see what year 2 looks like. There's a wait and see going, I want to see if they can develop guys and push guys to the next level. That's the unfortunate part of the wait and see. I think for the most part, they've gotten themselves involved with the top players in the state. Whether you look at James Smith and Clay Russoff from over Montgomery. Auburn's in their top group. It's a big group, but Auburn's in there. Hunter Osborne from Hewitt-Trussville comes out today with the top 6, a final 6, and Auburn's in that. They made, good push with Tamarian Parker and Carmelo English at Central Phoenix City, and with Keldrick Falk from Highland Home. They've done a good job with most of these guys. Obviously, Stanton Ramel and Will Conform a couple of offensive tackles in this state in the mix with those guys as well. And then, you look at Tony Mitchell at corner, and even Jaleel Hurley, who's committed to Alabama. Auburn has made a push for those guys. Can you get over the finish line now? That's the question mark, and I think they've put themselves in position. But some of these kids now want to wait and see what the product looks like, and I can't blame guys.
And that's the chicken or the egg syndrome. I mean,
you're selling your vision.
You're right. I mean, you can't get people to the NFL if you can't get them to come and show that you can develop, and you can't get results if you don't have the right players to come in and give you the results. So
it's talent acquisition and development, and that's part of what we've seen the last few years heading into Brian Harsin. Gus Malzahn, they recruited pretty well, and they developed guys on defense. But we hadn't seen that development on the offensive side of the ball. That's why you look, and Auburn's still in with a lot of really good defensive players, and they'll get some of those guys. Offensively, you look and go, where are those guys gone? Where's that production been? And it's been a question mark. And so I think that's the thing now is you got to go, okay, can you start to make some inroads and do some of those things and find a couple of guys and go, hey, I believe in the vision, or a couple of guys say, look, I just want to go to Auburn. That's where I want to go to school, and there'll be some of those guys. But you're right. This class, you got to get your fair share. You don't have to get all of them because there's a bunch of them in this state. But if you're Auburn, you got to get your fair share of guys in the state this year. There's no question.
That's that. We have said that till we're blue in the face. They have got to get their fair share of this class, or it's not going to be pretty. Period. I mean, you can spin it and shape it and color it however you want to color it. But with this class this year, if Auburn comes out of this thing and only gets 2 guys, I think we know what. The handwriting's on the wall. Jason, I want to shift real quick. Only got a couple minutes, but a big series at home between Alabama and Auburn in baseball starting tonight. Auburn's positioned itself right there to vault on up further in the Western Division standings. Had a phenomenal season, but you got a gritty team in Alabama who's kind of hit the skids here lately, but Auburn has struggled with Alabama the last couple of years. Would love to see Auburn definitely get the series win, if not maybe find a way to pull out a sweep.
Yeah, it's just what it is in this league. You go every week and you go, it's going to be a challenge, and there's two sides of the coin this week. For Auburn, we talked to Butch Thompson yesterday, and he said, look, this is about the Kentucky Derby. You put yourself in position, but nobody knows who Rich Strike is if you don't finish the race. So if it's for Auburn, it's about finishing the race. You put yourself in position, now you got to go out and finish it. Alabama, you're fighting for your life. Alabama, in the next 2 weekends, you're facing 2 teams, Alabama and Kentucky, that are fighting for their postseason life. And so you're going to get everything you got. So you know what you got when Auburn, Alabama, strap it up no matter where they are. But for Auburn, can you, I think if Blake Burkhalter back healthy is a big deal for them from a closer role, and you strengthen that bullpen a little bit in his absence. But hey, it comes down to baseball. Comes down to some simple things, and it's not that simple to execute. But it's throw strikes, make pitches, play defense, and timely hitting, and that'll be the thing that determines this series once again.
Jason, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Talk to you, buddy.
Jason Caldwell from Inside the Auburn Tigers. We'll be back with one final segment right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare. Serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz. You know, I remember when your boy Sonny was here coaching the baseball team, and it was an Alabama team that was just
they were horrible.
Horrendous.
They were horrible.
Came in, and
It
I don't
was.
want to put it out there. I don't even want to put it into the universe, but it is Friday the 13th.
It is.
And
They
they waltzed right into Plainsman Park and swept
Well,
off.
it started when we locked them out of the
That's right.
batting cage. I mean that. You know, they couldn't find the key. They made up like what's stupid, man.
That's Sonny Galloway. He was a treasure.
They went over there. The manager went over and said, "Hey, Alabama can't get in the batting cage." He said, "I know."
I know.
He said, "I know."
He said, "That's because I locked it."
So they proceeded to just go out there and beat the ever-loving, you know what, out of Auburn for 3 games. I mean, you know, just. Yeah. That was prototypical Sonny. Has there ever been a worse character guy?
Oof.
I'm serious.
He was bad.
Man.
He was bad. What's old Sonny up to these days?
I don't know.
Did he ever get another job? How'd that lawsuit come out that he sued
I hadn't heard
Auburn?
any more about
That just kind of got
We have
swept under the
lawsuits,
rug.
and then it just.
I bet
they
we
just-
settled that
Of
one.
course
What
we
do you think?
did.
Yeah.
I'm sure we did.
Wonder how much he ended up with. Friday the 13th, May.
Be a
Friday
a-hole,
the-
end up with whatever you want.
Why not? I'll never forget when we hired him and watching the Braves, turn on the Braves that night, and Joe Simpson, who's a huge Oklahoma guy, said, "Thank you, Auburn, for taking him off our hands." And I thought, that's kind of an odd thing to say. Well, there you go. 1955, on this day, Mickey Mantle hits 3 consecutive home runs, the shortest of which was 463 feet. That guy was pretty good.
He's probably drunk, too.
He probably was. Or hung over at the least.
Or hung over.
1958, the great Stan Musial gets his 3,000th hit on this Friday the 13th. 1983, Reggie Jackson becomes the first Major League Baseball player to strike out 2,000 times.
Somebody had to do it.
I guess so. He was going to strike out.
Not sure that's the record you want.
No. Happy birthday today, Joe Lewis from Lafayette, Alabama.
How about that?
Well, he's where he's born anyway.
Right.
B. Arthur, big Golden Girls fan, I'm sure. Harvey Keitel, 83.
How about that?
Harvey Keitel from Reservoir Dogs.
There you go.
The Wolf, Richie Valens.
Richie Valens.
La Bamba. Died in a plane crash with?
Buddy Holly.
The day the music died.
That's right.
Blue Lou Marini from the Blues Brothers. How about Stevland Hardaway Morris, born on this day, 1950. Otherwise known as Stevie Wonder.
How about that?
Stevie Wonder, born on this day. Dennis Rodman, guy's still
being the worm.
He's got problems. Sean McDonough, I like Sean McDonough.
He's dry. He's dry.
As far as the play-by-play, he's just
He's okay.
okay. 1962, Stephen Colbert, 1964. Darius Rucker, Hootie.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie, born on this day, 1966. You like Hootie and the Blowfish, Darius Rucker, or country Darius
Both.
Rucker? Yeah. He's a chameleon.
He is.
That's what he
can do whatever he wants.
Mike Bibby played
Arizona.
great. He was really good. He ended up beating Kentucky in double overtime, winning the national championship in 1997. Barry Zito signed one of the biggest contracts for a pitcher. I think it was the biggest contract for a pitcher in Major League Baseball history, and stunk when he went to the Giants. Remember that?
I do.
I mean, it was like the A version of the Big Three. It was Barry Zito. Who was the third guy? It was Barry Zito, Tim Hudson, and there was one more. I can't remember who the guy was.
It wasn't.
I think he ended up going to the Cardinals.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name. Right off.
But anyway, Hudson was really the only one that had a great, really good career after leaving Oakland. It was kind of weird. Robert Pattinson, you a Twilight fan?
Not really.
I've never seen any of them.
Don't care.
They're vampire. He was a vampire.
Not a vampire.
He was a vampire.
How about that? Hey,
how about
yesterday? Let's see. Only one SEC baseball game. Tennessee played. Who was it they played? Who did they play in this weekend?
I don't
can't
know.
remember anyway. This Tennessee team starting to show that it's.
Did they lose?
No,
again?
no, they won. But I mean.
Yeah, they lost to Kentucky, who was what, 5 they're like 5-18 or something. I mean, they're not good. Well, I say that.
I think what you need to understand, like Jason said, Auburn is playing two teams that are fighting for their life. It's always,
no question.
It's always a little. I mean, you look down and you go, man, that's who you want to be playing. Teams that are at the bottom of their divisions, but I mean, they also have a lot to play for. With 6 games left, you don't want to go out there and sleepwalk.
I mean, a lot of it's about motivation. How motivated are you, Auburn? Auburn has put themselves. They have been working all season to put themselves in a position to, I think one of the projections we saw from, as I mentioned yesterday, Auburn was number 8 national seed, hosting a regional.
Right.
You're in that position. You've worked hard to do it. 13-11. That may not sound like it's great, but that's a good record in the SEC.
And if you're a top 8 seed, that's a super region.
You're facing two of the bottom teams in the East and the West.
If you're top 8 and you win your region, that's a super region.
You got one of them at home. Take care of your business, Auburn. Go out and take 2 or 3
How about
from
Missouri's softball team? They knocking Auburn and Alabama out. They've moved on to the semifinals.
Yeah, maybe they'll take Tennessee out.
If they do, probably Arkansas.
Well, yeah, Arkansas is tough. Arkansas was like horrendous 5 years ago, and all of a sudden they have found out how to play
turn on a dime.
Either
Either way.
For that matter. He's Brett Pritchard. I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll talk again soon.